It is early in the morning right now. Um, I haven't yet washed my face. I did step out to brush my teeth, but I still haven't really freshened up. I'm still in bed actually, and I thought I would make this short video because I realized I haven't posted for quite a few days. The original plan was for me to be posting every day, so I'm trying to pick up the pace. So it's a bright morning. It's sunny outside. I'm going to step out for a walk after this video. What did I want to say this morning? Honestly, I didn't know what I was going to say before I pressed record. So let me see. I will probably just talk about my last video or talk about the stuff I covered in my last video, which was large language models. Yeah, so right now, there is something called the decision paralysis. This is when you have so many options that you don't know which one to choose. You become paralyzed just considering, right? Especially when the things you're choosing from are very similar, very competitive. You don't want to choose like they're very yeah, competitive in a way, but still a bit mysterious. You don't know enough about each of them to be decisive about the thing you want, especially when there are consequences. I am talking about large language models. There are so many of them right now, and um, most of them are very good. And there is a cost associated with my decision. If I pick Claude for coding, or if I pick let me see uh Gemini, OpenAI, or depending on the model that anyway, let me just differentiate it. There are some that are good for coding, there are some that are good for other things. For coding, the two competing products are Cursor, um Claude Code, Lovable V0. Yeah, some of them are just mostly used for building front-end apps, front-end websites, but at the end of the day, I also do a bit of that. I do a lot of that actually. So, which one should I choose? If I Visa is paid for, Lovable is paid for, Cloud Code is paid for, and then Cursor is paid for. And then I want to also make sure that I am learning how to better use these tools. And in order to learn, sometimes you have to compare things. And right now, I'm thinking, should I pay what's the average? $20 for each of these? That's four products, $20 per month, so that I can use them and compare. Or should I just close my eyes and pick one and focus on it? Picking one is probably a good decision, but there is still that feeling that I might pick the wrong one or something like that. Or I might pick one that is not worth my money. That is one fear. The other fear is yeah, what if I pick one and then I start using it and I find out that the other one is better? Yeah, so these are um some of the challenges I have with making a decision. Yeah, I cannot pick all of them. Obviously, it's out of my budget. Even if I could fairly comfortably afford them, I don't think it would make sense to pay for all of them because I don't have one. I don't have a stack of projects waiting to be worked on. And two, I have a full-time job. I don't have time to really pour myself into them to actually get deep um into each of them and try to compare and contrast and so on. So right now what I'm doing is I am using Lovable for because there is a project where I have to convert a certain website that was developed by hand with HTML and CSS. By hand, I mean without AI. So I'm trying to like use Lovable to basically explore and see how good it is at converting a website I built with vanilla HTML and CSS and PHP and converting it to Next.js. So I'm still on the free tier. Um, yeah, I haven't yet tried the max mode. Sorry, it's not Lovable I'm using. It's Cursor. It's Cursor. And I think I need to use Lovable for another project simultaneously because I think I'm using too much of Cursor. Because at work I use Cursor and then um yeah, it might make sense to complement that with Lovable. Okay, so let me align my thoughts. If you don't know, if you're just stumbling on this channel for the first time, I am making these videos because I want to practice communication. I'm not very good at, you know, communicating the ideas in my head. Yeah, but to be fair, some of the times it requires, preparing a script to be more clear, but I don't have that luxury right now, and the part of my skills that I'm training is the part where I just start talking and I'm able to organize my thoughts on the fly and communicate them. So sorry if I'm going back and forth with this subject of large language models. So what I was going to say is I've actually been doing a fair bit of tinkering with these models because I have used V0 before. I used it to build some games, basically math games. I've used it to build some fairly sophisticated to-do list. I've used it for, I think, was that Lovable or V0? One of them at least. I used it for social media, for social login using Gmail. So I have tried V0. Um, like I was impressed. I was fairly impressed. But it didn't really stand out above the other ones that I've tried. The next one I tried is Lovable. I used it for uh, just one website. I've actually deployed the website. It's a website about architecture. It's actually a website, an acquaintance's website. She reached out to me to help her build a website. I've already built it. I haven't yet told her even, but I'll reach out to her soon. So that's Lovable. I've used V0 and Lovable. And then at work, every day I use Cursor. In fact, about 40% of my code is being written by Cursor, and I have access to the max mode, right? So that's the $200 per month tier. Um, I don't know how it is offered to my organization. I assume my organization purchases the enterprise plan or team plan. Yeah, but I have the features that are available in the $200 per month plan. At the time of this recording, yeah, the price for that plan was $200. So that's V0, Lovable, Cursor. The other one I haven't yet tried is Claude Code, but only because I don't have a lot of time for it. I've heard rumors that it's even better than Cursor. The only difference being that it doesn't have a really good user experience. You have to type on the terminal in order to make your changes. But in terms of the results that it produces, it's better than Cursor. I'll try that soon. So yeah, that's that. So much going on. I think my strategy, even though I haven't yet given it too much thought, my strategy is a little bit fair, probably not effective, not efficient because my time is split between projects and between AI coding platforms. one other thing I've started doing lately is I am doing more exploration in terms of watching what other developers think about these models. Yeah, because yeah, it might take you 5 hours maybe to discover two things, right? But someone like goes through those 5 hours, discovers those things and shares them in a video, and it can be very helpful to just watch the video and pick up tips and tricks here and there. Yeah, so that's mostly what I'm doing. Yeah, yeah, that's so combine all of this. I think I just need to streamline my strategy and really sit down, think about it, have a plan, and then have a budget for these models. Yeah, so that's it. Um, so how do I think coding is going to look like a year, 2 years, 3 years from now? I think AI is not going to cause as much disruption as we think in the job market in, say, no. It's difficult for me to say that because right now it's already causing disruption. 40% of my code is being written by AI. And I heard some rumors that is it Microsoft that about 30% of the code at Microsoft is written by AI, which is basically the same because if everyone in my organization is like me, then we can also just say 40% of my code of the code in our organization is being written by AI. But um there's another way that this can play out. If organization if developers in organizations are becoming 30% more productive and it is it is like this across the board on all in all organizations, then the organization that lays off its software engineers is going to like is not going to be as productive as the organization that keeps all its engineers and all of them are using AI. So unless there is some astronomical leap in the advancement of AI, then perhaps it's not going to cause that much disruption in the tech job market as people seem to fear. At least that's the hope that I have. That you know people are more productive, yes, but that is across the board. I think the companies that will suffer are companies whose work, right, who don't, they have arrived at that level of growth where they don't have any innovative product ideas to work on, that they are just cruising, that they just need to maintain their systems. And there are not that many companies because in a capitalist system, you have to evolve, you have to grow. You cannot stay at the same spot, you have to grow. So companies, as people are becoming more productive, they're not just going to, uh, um, lay off half their workforce or something like that and leave the other to continue executing at a certain constant pace. Right, as AI becomes more productive, they're instead going to go for more ambitious uh, goals, and ambitious goals will need, you know, a workforce, and so they will not, yeah, lay off as much. Yeah, so that's what it's looking like from my point of view. Yeah, but honestly, I feel like it might be a good time to take a sabbatical. Um, Yeah, because I've been at my current company for quite a while, and yeah, it can get repetitive even with AI. So, I feel like it's a really good time to explore, like to explore horizontally rather than vertically, because if you're working at the same organization, you're doing more of the same thing. You can maybe, you're more likely to dive deeper into certain projects, certain subjects, and so on. Yeah, but right now it feels like a good time to explore, because we are on the threshold of a new age, and there are several tools coming up, and um, it, each developer needs a significant amount of time to kind of adjust. And to do that, you will need to know the tools that you have at your command. You need to know, explore. There are also things like, it's very easy these days to start a company, and in order to have a good idea, sometimes it requires playing around with tools and seeing what they have to offer, and then figuring out how you can harness that, how you can, combine this and this and this. There are AI agents as well. Yeah, there are so many ideas on things I could do. So it requires something like a full-time job, or like, hours, right? Like 9 to 5, not working, not going to work like your career or like your job, but basically just thinking of one project, implementing them, rinsing and repeating, using all the new tools that are coming up, and comparing them and seeing what's possible and so on, exploring. Yeah. Um Anyway, but you can still do that as a part-time, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm not ready to leave my job just yet. Even to take a 1 week vacation is out of the question for me, for personal reasons, but also because I really don't feel like I need a vacation right now. So yeah, I'm not going anywhere. So that's it for today. The camera has been rolling for almost 20 minutes, which is much longer than I thought I was going to cover. Thank you for watching, if you've been watching up to this point, and wishing you a great rest of your week. Bye bye.